Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. Jaime Munguia is new and improved and is ready for 160 pounds. You know, a lot of people were wondering what Jaime Munguia was going to do coming into this fight with Gary Spike O'Sullivan. And when Jaime Munguia came in, he answered a lot of questions. Let's just break it down. You saw Jaime Munguia using power, speed, a varied attack, going to the head, going to the body, using combinations. And his head movement was fantastic. He showed that he moves his head. He showed that he's going to present a varied attack. And, you know, he's not hitting, his opponent with the exact same shot each and every time. Sometimes it's a speedball. Sometimes it's the hard punch. He's hitting him multiple times with different types of shot, doing a great combination, going to the body, going to the head. And he's also, utilizing his jab. You got to understand that Jaime Munguia is 23 years old and he's 6 foot tall for the middleweight division, and he used his jab to pretty much control space and distance against, Gary Spike O'Sullivan. And there was a few rounds where Jaime Munguia took off and he basically tried to sit in the pocket and slug with Spike O'Sullivan, but that's to be expected because, at points Jaime Munguia is trying to break those bad habits. And Eric Morales has vastly improved Jaime Munguia at this point. Anybody that says that Jaime Munguia hasn't improved is obviously a fanboy or don't know anything about boxing. The kid has really improved his head movement. He's improved his defense, and his varied offensive attack is great. He's taken a few big shots in this fight, just like any boxer would. And yet, even with those big shots from a 160-pounder who's knocked out other 160-pounders, Jaime Munguia has a solid chin, and he took them all in stride. He never got wobbled or dropped. He showed that he's a real player at 160 pounds. I'll give him another type of fight like this, and then he's ready to step up to the big time. Jaime Munguia is really shown that, being hydrated, fully hydrated at 160 pounds is making a huge difference for him. Training with Eric Morales, a Mexican Hall of Fame legend, is making a huge difference for him. And Jaime Munguia just simply needs to keep breaking bad habits. Just keep moving your head, keep presenting a varied attack, keep using your jab, stick to the game plan, and that's what he did round after round after round. He pretty much dominated Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Gary Spike O'Sullivan, corner at the end of round 7, was saying, "Hey, we want to stop this thing. Show us something." And they end up stopping the fight. It looks like he was on his way out regardless. Gary Spike O'Sullivan was just taking a beating. He was looking like a worn pinata throughout the fight. And at the end of the day, you give Gary Spike O'Sullivan credit for having the heart to stand in there and take that beating. But at the end of the day, Jaime Munguia was putting on a boxing clinic against Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Gary Spike O'Sullivan was looking for a way out, but he had the heart to keep going. He complained a lot, and he was looking for a break at times. At the end of the day, Jaime Munguia is a much better fighter than people give him credit for. He's vastly improved, and I think he's ready for a name like Charlo, a world champion at 160 pounds. I think at this point, Jaime Munguia beats a guy like Charlo. I think Jaime Munguia has shown the skill, the head movement, the power, the speed, and the jab to all compete and beat a guy like Charlo. I think that would be a perfect fight for him. I think that's a fight that needs to be made at some point. Give Jaime Munguia another refreshing fight at 160 to make sure his weight is right, to make sure that he's following all the instructions of Eric Morales and his improvements. And I think a fight for Jaime Munguia and Charlo is a fight that makes a lot of sense. We have to understand that Oscar De La Hoya has already mentioned that's a potential fight at 160. So I think it makes a lot of sense to have those two guys line up. Jaime Munguia has already shown a better skill set than Charlo has ever shown at 160. You have to understand a guy like Charlo is a natural headhunter. And a guy like Jaime Munguia is learning on the job. See, Jaime Munguia is not anywhere near his prime like Charlo. Charlo is sitting on 30 years old at this point, showing no difference in his game plan from fight to fight. But a guy like Jaime Munguia is only 23 years old, showing power, speed, defense. He's answering all the questions that people said he couldn't. But, once again, unbiased as always, it's the IBFP.